Hey everybody, it's Robert here with Learningtodj.com, and we're in our final video here of how you can get started DJing with just your laptop using Rekordbox, no equipment needed. In this video, we're just going to try to tie together all the different concepts of things that we've learned throughout this series and just see how we can you tie them all together if we were to start experimenting with, say, building a 30-minute to 1 hour play practice session with playing tracks. So starting off here, we've got our collection view. I'm going to keep with our theme of disco and glitterbox by typing in glitterbox to my search bar and opening in my collection view. I'm going to grab this track. I'm going to load it into my first deck and hit play here. So the track is playing. I'm going to increase the volume to the maximum here, allow that track to play back. And I'm going to pull the crossfader all the way to the left so that we only have content from the first deck playing out. We don't want content from the second deck playing out because we're going to, play around. We're going to see if we can find another track here. So I've got a great track here from Peggy Gao, Makes You Forget, great track. And I'm going to enable beat sync here to make sure that our tracks are synced up when we play because we don't have a piece of equipment that we can manually beat match with. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit play on the Peggy Gao track. And I'm going to enable a loop here, an 8-bar loop, because I'm not really ready for that Peggy Gao track to start playing into its more main section because we're still playing the first track here. And we're going to use our little trick of our EQ to prepare to make a transition from one track to the next. We've got our loop on the Peggy Gao side. What we're going to do is we're going to pull the bottom bassy parts out of our first track by using our EQ here, turning it counterclockwise to remove those big bassy parts. And we're going to prepare for a transition here. So I'm going to disengage the loop from the Peggy Gao track on our second deck. So now the track will play out, and we're going to just move the crossfader from left to right in order to make a smooth transition to the Peggy Gao track here. All right, and there we go. We've made a successful transition applying two of our big concepts in the series. Maybe the last thing that we can apply here is we can, add some effects into a transition. So why don't we go ahead and load up another track here. I'm gonna load up Life is a Dance Floor on the first deck here. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play the track. And in this case, the Makes You Forget track has become the master track here, or the kind of reference for Rekordbox to know what is the BPM and the reference for beat syncing. So in order to now beat sync our first track, we're going to have to click the beat sync on this first deck. So now clicking that button, our tempos have gotten changed and modified, so they're now in sync and our beats are in sync as we can see in the waveform. Let's go ahead, let's engage a loop on Life as a Dance Floor from the shapeshifters on the first deck. And maybe let's add some echo effects as we prepare for a transition from the Makes You Forget track into the Life as a Dance Floor on the first deck. So I'm gonna pull out some of the bottom end of this track on the Peggy Gao track, and that's just to let the audience know something interesting is gonna happen. And we've got that echo effect on, and we're just making a slow transition. We're overlapping the two tracks right now because the crossfader's in the middle. I'm gonna disengage the loop on the Life as a Dance Floor, and I'm gonna complete the transition by removing the volume from the second deck with the Peggy Gao track. Alrighty. So the last thing we can do is we can go ahead and maybe we can explore a little bit more of our tracks. Maybe we'll open up a playlist. We'll decide, okay, maybe we don't want to select from all of our tracks. Maybe we want to go into our Made in Miami playlist and find a track in here that we can select and that we like. And maybe we'll drag and drop that into our second deck here. And basically we just have fun and we keep going and playing tracks one by one and transitioning between the two. Alrighty, so hopefully this little mini series on how you can get started DJing with just your laptop has been helpful in getting you started and just mixing and trying things out using this software called Rekordbox and just getting a taste and feel for how DJing works for you. And keep in mind that as you continue to advance your skills and improve, you can always pick up something called a DJ controller that can help you to kind of facilitate the physical manipulation of the different controls in these types of softwares. DJ controllers are really common nowadays for DJs who don't want to spend a lot of money on getting a bunch of pro equipment. And if this type of tutorial and experience was something that you enjoyed, I highly encourage you to check out the Beginner to Intermediate DJ course. It is a complete transformation, taking you from a unconfident beginner who doesn't really know too much about DJing to a sort of intermediate level level where you actually have a ton of knowledge. In 10 hours, I kind of cover what it takes a lot of DJs almost years and years and years to learn. So it really does take you from that unconfident beginner stage all the way to the, confident intermediate. I can put together a mix that I'm really proud of. And for now, I hope you have a lot of fun. Make sure you practice and you keep having fun playing and mixing around with Rekordbox.